Εδώ ζωντανά και πάμε να παρακολουθήσουμε την συνέντευξη που χθες έτσι είχα την ευκαιρία να πάρω από την πρόεδρο του Ευρωπαϊκού Κοινοβουλίου, την Ρομπέρτα Μέτσολα, στην πρώτη της επίσημη επίσκεψη στην Ελλάδα, γιατί από ό,τι κατάλαβα την έχει ξαναεπισκεφθεί ιδιωτικά με την οικογένεια και τα 4 παιδιά της. Ήρθε, είχε ένα πλήρως ασφικτικά γεμάτο πρόγραμμα, γιατί μέσα σε λιγότερο από 24 ώρες είδε τον Πρωθυπουργό, τον πρόεδρο της Βουλής, τους πολιτικούς αρχηγούς, μίλησε στην Ολομέλεια της Βουλής και μετά συναντήθηκε, εδώ την υποδέχτηκε η κυρία Σακελαροπούλου και μετά μίλησε σε μια εκδήλωση για νέους, όπου από ό,τι μου λέει η Τίνα δέχτηκε και πολύ έτσι ενδιαφέρουσες και σκληρές ερωτήσεις. Ωστόσο, αυτή κάνει μια καμπάνια, ταξιδεύει σε όλες τις χώρες, γιατί θέλει να κινητοποιήσει τους ανθρώπους και τους πολίτες να πάνε και να ψηφίσουν, ώστε να μην έχουμε υψηλά ποσοστά αποχής. Τη ρωτάω και πράγματα που θεωρώ ότι έπρεπε να τη ρωτήσω, όπως για την κινητοποίηση των αγροτών μας. Θέλω να σας πω ότι την ώρα που την υποδεχόμουν στο γραφείο του Ευρωπαϊκού Κοινοβουλίου, απ' έξω είχαν αρχίσει να συγκεντρώνονται οι αγρότες. Ακούγαμε τα συνθήματά τους, τη μουσική τους, δεν μπορούσα να μην δεν το ρωτήσω. Όπως και για το ψήφισμα καταπέλτη εναντίον της Ελλάδας από την πλειοψηφία των μελών του Ευρωπαϊκού Κοινοβουλίου, που είχε να κάνει φυσικά και με την υπόθεση των ντεμπών, το μάτι και ούτω καθεξής, τη μία απόδοση δικαιοσύνης και το πώς αυτή έτσι εκφράζεται μέσα σε αυτό το ψήφισμα. Συζητάμε πολλά. Δεν μπορούσα να ξεχάσω ότι δουλεύω και στο Happy Day που αγαπώ, οπότε ρώτησα και για τα παιδιά της και κάποια πιο χαλαρά πράγματα. Υπήρχε πολύ μεγάλη στενότητα χρόνου, αλλά κάτι καταφέραμε να κάνουμε και περιμένω τα σχόλιά σας. Θέλω να ευχαριστήσω πέρα από όλους αυτούς που ευχαρίστησα πριν, και τον Κωνσταντίνο Αντωνακάκη που ήταν στο μοντάζ μέχρι αργά το βράδυ με τον Μιχάλη, και το Δράσο μας από την παραγωγή, το Θρασίβουλο, ο οποίος είχαμε ένα θέμα με το υλικό. Πήγε και ήρθε ο άνθρωπος 48.000 φορές για να μπορέσουμε να το φορτώσουμε. Τον ευχαριστώ θερμά, όπως και όλη μας την ομάδα. Για να το δούμε. Madam President, welcome to Greece. I know you have a full schedule, and I want to thank you in advance for this interview. It's a great honor for me and the viewers of Happy Day and Alpha TV.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
You enjoy yourself so far here?
Oh, absolutely. I love Greece. I love this country.
You've been before here. You love the Greek food, the culture, the people?
Yes, absolutely. And I come here. My children like it. You know, my family loves it. It's a really nice place. And you know, it's a place where you can come in winter and summer. There's always something to see and always somewhere to go. It's wonderful.
Especially in the summer, the islands. You've been there with your family?
Yes, we like the sea. I come from an island myself, so.
Malta. We love Malta also. So as we speak, farmers are heading to the heart of the city. They're demonstrating, and similar demonstrations occur all over Europe. What's your message for them? You said nobody will be left behind, but the Greek Prime Minister said in the morning there's nothing more to give to them.
I hear the concerns. I understand their challenges when we talk about the farmers, and I think it's really up to us to be honest with them what we can do, remind ourselves that at the beginning of the pandemic we looked to our farmers to make sure we had food security, that we were self-sufficient in what we eat and the life we have. That now I think it's in our interest and also our responsibility that we need to make sure that in the Greek transition the farmers are lockstep with us as we create the social and economic impact needed of the very difficult and ambitious but necessary decisions that we are taking.
Okay, so Europe will stand by them.
Absolutely.
There were high level of abstention from voting in the last elections in Greece. The numbers keep falling and falling. People are frustrated, the economical crisis, the high cost of living.
My answer to them would be to vote, because if you are frustrated, if you have questions about the direction that Europe and Greece will take over the next 5 years, those 21 members of the European Parliament will make that difference for you. Because if you don't vote, somebody else will take the decision for you. And maybe that decision will not address your challenges, your questions, the fact that you feel left out, the fact that you think there's a lot of bureaucracy, we are not effective enough, we are not, let's say, fast enough in implementing legislation, taking care of each and every country, whether you're from the north, south, east and west. So we are looking to beat this, and I hope whoever is watching us will say, yes, actually I need to make sure my children vote, my family votes, my employees, my colleagues vote. And the second half is also young people. We are looking for identifying the challenges that the young people in our Europe have. In Greece, they vote at age of 17. I myself am the mother of 4 boys, and I know how important it is for us to reach out to them. at a time when all they do is scroll on their phones, to make sure that what they see is what they can identify.
But what about the citizens who want to demonstrate for the high cost of living or to the system by supporting a far-right party? Do you have an alternative for them?
Yeah, I want, and I belong to the center of the political spectrum, to counter that narrative. If you feel frustrated, don't look for comfort in the fringes. Politics is not about black and white. Politics is a thousand shades of grey. I said this in the Greek parliament a few hours ago, or yesterday as we speak. And in this case, you need politics, especially in these challenging times, after a pandemic, with wars on our continent and very close to us, with very big global and geopolitical instability. You need political leaders who will be able, have the courage, have the numbers, the majority, to be able to push through difficult but necessary decisions. And if there's one political wisdom that I go by, is that I would rather trust in people who project hope than those who project fear.
How do you see your future the next day of the elections?
Well, I need to get re-elected by my citizens. This will be my 11th year in the European Parliament. It is one that I've had the greatest honor to do, to represent those who come from my country and take decisions that also affect them.
The biggest problem of everyday life in Greece is the cost of living. It's so high and things are getting worse and worse. The economic recovery is a fact according to the numbers, but people suffer. How do you explain this controversy?
Well, we have a situation where, because of the instability that we mentioned, you know, prices are high, value of your assets, of your pension, of housing have taken a knock. We have a severe, across the European Union, lack of accessibility to security, to affordable housing, to be able for you to start your own business, to be able for you to grow in a competitive society. And that is something that we will need to, as we go along, address. Since the Russian invasion of Ukraine, we have seen that volatility in prices. We have managed to buck the trend with the Recovery and Resilience Facility. And here I would like to make a note about the fact that Greece has been one of the best countries in being able to absorb European Union funds to help.
And let's hope we're going to feel them even more in the future. A few weeks ago, the European Parliament adopted a really critical resolution which highlights grave concerns about very serious threats to democracy, the rule of law and fundamental rights. Did you discuss that with the Greek Prime Minister, if I'm allowed to ask?
Yes, absolutely. So this is the question of the rule of law is something that we discuss everywhere. In fact, the European Parliament was the institution that pushed the European Commission to establish an annual examination of where member states are and give recommendations as to where improvements can be made. So the European Parliament takes this very seriously. Questions are asked, answers are given, and it is in that context that we can continue, both as the European institutions and the individual member states, including in Greece, move forward together.
So it's not like Greece was condemned.
No, this is a resolution of the Parliament where questions are asked. It was then voted on. The answers are requested, and the government will be given. And absolutely, and we also have to see that in the context of the opinion handed down by the Supreme Court. It is within that background that we will continue to make sure that all our societies are leveled up, because we value democracy. Rule of law is very important.
So let me finish by asking, how do you manage balancing your demanding career with your family? Is there a time that you feel time is not enough for you?
My children have always known their mom to be in politics. I have run campaigns with little children, 2 boys, actually, some elections where they're hanging onto my trousers, and I would look down and say, okay, they are there, and they are happy that their mom's around. And of course it is challenging. Of course it requires a lot of scheduling. Grandparents are important. I still rely on my parents a lot. But I would like to send a strong message that for young women who are watching this, look at politics as a challenge and as something anybody can achieve, because politics is a force for good. And it is one balance that I need to find with a very strict schedule, one where I rely a lot also on my husband, but it's one where every day I know that I'm hoping to have and give a better life for my children as they grow up and also as they vote.
Thank you so much for this interview. I hope I was really quick.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to meet you.
Thank you.